Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to do a quick discussion on this budget Casio diver's watch. It's called the Casio Duro. The actual part number for it is the MDV 106-1A. I believe that -1A probably changes depending on which color combo you get, but this one with the black dial and the black bezel is or seems to be the most common version out there. You can find these pretty inexpensively online on Amazon or wherever. I personally paid just under $70 Canadian for it. And I think overall, this is a really good budget watch. Um, they say that this is one of the best budget divers watches because it has those divers features. So it actually typically comes with a silicone rubber band on it. It's 22 millimeters. You can swap out for whatever you like. So in this case, I swapped it out for a leather NATO strap for more comfort. Of course, I'm not a diver, and I'm sure 99% of the people that purchase it probably aren't divers either. So they probably won't use these features, but it's more the look than anything else. So as far as the diver's features are concerned, it has a functional anti-reverse bezel that you can use for your dive timing. It has your date window, which is just, it's not, I don't think it's diver specific. If you're underwater for more than a day, I think that's going to be a concern for you. But it does have the screw down crown to support a 200-meter water resistance. Has a mineral glass crystal. So not sapphire, but at the price, what can you really expect? It also has like your luminescent paint on the hands and the hour markers as well, so you can see it in the dark. And that's pretty well it. It's a quartz movement and fairly accurate. You're really not going to have too many issues with it being off by a significant amount. Should be, I think they say like plus or minus 15 seconds per month. That's in line with most quartz watches nowadays. So you shouldn't really run into any issues with accuracy. And like I said, most people that are going to be using this at home and in the office or out and about shouldn't have any issues with accuracy or functionality. It's a good middle of the road size. It's not too big, not too small. I don't have the actual measurements offhand right now, but most people should find this fairly comfortable on the wrist. It's not a very thick watch either. It is full steel case, and you pick it up and you really do feel the quality. It's a very nice feel in the hand when you pick it up. It feels solid, and for the price, you can't really argue with that. I've worn this on and off for a number of months now, but I've definitely found a couple issues with it. So my first issue is that it doesn't have any kind of markings for the hours, the actual numbers. I like having the actual 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the face if I can. Now, of course, I purchased it. I knew that it wouldn't have that, and a lot of classier looking watches don't have actual numbering on it. I like that field watch styling. It'd be nice to have an option to have that on this, but I understand that that's not standard practice. So that's one thing I really kind of missed. The other issue I found with the watch was this date window is really, really hard to see if you're not in perfect lighting and you're not looking directly at the watch. For me, I'm just so used to using digital watches now that whenever I look at the watch, I have the date is clearly visible, the month and all that information is very clearly visible, and you can see it from many different angles. Here, it's a little bit more difficult to see. Now I know, there's probably a lot of other analog watches that have the same issue, but it's one of my gripes. The other issue, and this is a really nitpicky thing to say, I find that the actual dial, it's hard to see. If I remove it around, you might get an idea for what I'm talking about. But around the hour markers, it just you see a kind of unevenness, like almost like a waviness on the dial. And it makes it so when you look at it up close, it's not very satisfying to look at up close. It feels unfinished. And I feel like that's a very small thing, and I'm sure most people would say, well, then if you care about finish, buy an expensive watch. And that's totally fair. But for me, more than anything, I feel like they could easily push it over the edge without spending too much extra money. I'd be willing to spend another $20 on this if they had it just a little bit more polished. That's just my opinion, though. Overall, though, I think the watch is a great value, accurate, great, useful for everyday tasks. If you're in the market for a classy looking kind of do-it-all watch for under $100, this is definitely the way to go. I personally just wanted to get into my first diver's watch and really understand how they wear on the wrist and how they look, and I really like the look. I like wearing it out and about. It's not my absolute favorite. For some reason, I'm still stuck on my Casio 5610 or my G-Shock 5610 right here. But as you can see, this always has your clearly visible information, but this is a different style of watch altogether. Another thing that kind of bugged me too, but this is just more of a in general issue with analog watches. They look better, but not as functional when you look at it from like a digital standpoint. You look at the date window. If the time is, quarter after, or if you're getting close to, you're at 3 o'clock, it's going to be partially covered. It's going to be hard to see. So it's making this already difficult to see date window even more obstructed. So kind of frustrating, but that's, that comes with the territory too. So is what it is. Overall, I'm very happy with the watch. I think it's a great value. And if you're interested in this watch at all and you're less picky than I am, then you'll definitely be very happy with it. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you into the next video.